Ram Ram and Pranam to everybody. I welcome you with immense joy in Maharajji's family. My brothers, my sisters, sometimes you are simply, become short of words because emotions overcome you. That's what I am going through right now. All of a sudden, getting in a group with my own people, my own brothers, my own sisters, and it feels like it could not have been possible without Maharajji's grace. That is Him who makes us speak. That is Him who makes us join together, join hearts, join hands across the continents. So it is a blissful moment for us all. I'm really full of joy joining you all. See, Nimida, with love you call me. Nimi is the name that was given to me by Maharajji himself. As Amit just now said, he wanted to hear the story of my birth. See, people often wonder, when does Maharajji's grace happen? At what time? How soon? For me, it was even before I was really alive. So, before coming to the story, I'd like to give you a glimpse of the time of Maharajji when he, kind of revealed himself in the area he worked until his leaving his body. That was in and around Nainital, or you can say around Kanchi, which has gained quite some fame these days, is so much popular. Although Maharajji has many temples in India, and almost everybody of you knows that. So Maharajji graced our family around 1940s, mid of 1940s. It so happened that elder brother of my father, and you know that in India we call him Tauji. Respectfully, we address him not just uncle. Uncle does not really define one's place in the family. He can be anything. But in India, the specific word Tauji means your father's elder brother. So he used to visit temples of Haldwani as his morning ritual, and that was his morning walk as well. So he chanced upon a sadhu who had been staying in a small room in an old Hanuman temple in Haldwani. Now, Haldwani is a place not far from Kanchi. So, to just give you an idea of its location, it is gateway to hills in Uttarakhand, in India, right? So, he met with a young sadhu there. He did not know who he was. His identity was still not revealed. But somehow he was drawn to him and then started meeting him every day, and they came closer. One day, he very casually requested, Maharaj, please come to my house, visit my house. Maharaj, mere ghar chaliye. That's what he had said in Hindi. And Maharaj responded, Chalo, let's go. He got up. And from that temple, our ancestral home is within a kilometer's distance, not far from there. They walked to our ancestral home. And maybe it was Maharajji's Leela, because whatever happens, we believe that often there is his hand in it. whatever happens. So they happened to meet my father. Naturally, I was not born, I had not been born till then. So then my Tauji, that is my father's elder brother, who had brought Maharajji with him, he said to his younger brother, look, this Maharajji has come with me. If you think it's all right, please take him in. Otherwise, with respect, give him a farewell from here only. So he left the decision on his brother. Now, in my father's words, he said, we were standing face to face in that narrow veranda, and I looked into his eyes, and he was looking very intently at me, and I don't know what happened next. What I remember that I found myself lying prostrate on his feet on the ground. I was flat, prostrate there on his feet. That is what you can call meeting of Bhagwan and Bhakt, the God and the disciple, the Bhakt. Maharajji was trying to raise him up from the ground, holding his shoulders. And my father did not realize that tears were flowing down his cheek. And he was also noticing tears building up in Maharajji's eyes as well. He said, I had no voice, but somehow I could manage to utter, Maharaj, bhitar chaliye, Maharaj, please come in. And he responded, Chalo. So he walked Maharajji into his room, and then there, Maharajji, while sitting on his bed, announced, now I have come home. Ab hum ghar aa gaye. That is what he had said the moment he reached there. Ab hum ghar aa gaye. And really, after that very moment, it remained his house. People knew that where is he? The name of that house is Bhavaniganj. So people would often say, "Hey, Bhavaniganj mein." He is there in Bhavaniganj. There were few families at that time where Maharajji would visit very frequently, and it was the beginning of Maharajji's story in that area. Soon, the first temple that was Harmangari in Nainital came up. We will take up the story sometime. So I got Maharajji, talking of bhakti, there are two categories. The relationship between your deity and the bhakt can be of two types. One is like a cat, the marjar, as it is called in Sanskrit. Marjar vrati, that is bhakti. A cat carries its, kitten in her mouth. She carries her all around. That is a bhakt who's being carried by the who he is devoted to. And the other is like a monkey. The monkey, just born monkey clings to his mother's body, and she jumps from one branch to other. He holds his mother so tight that there is no chance of falling down. That is one way of the bhakti, where the bhakt clings to his, you know, to his devotion. For me, when I was born, as Amit said, the story goes back to 1950. It was in Nainital. When I was born, I was almost lifeless. nearly a stillbirth. Assuming that maybe I was not destined to live long, wrapped in a sheet, I was put aside. There were no reflexes in my body. I was breathing all right. I was breathing. There were hardly any movements. I did not cry. So the chances of my survival were rather feeble at that time. Maybe it was after a couple of hours after my birth. Maharajji happened to come. And as he reached the threshold of the door, he said loudly, "Bring the child to me. Bring the child to me." Nobody paid heed to what he said. They rather ignored. Who wanted to bring a dying child to Maharajji? He repeated, "I said, bring the child to me." Again, nobody complied. They started serving him pranams and everything. And there used to be a takat always kept ready for him because he could walk in any time, would walk out any time. There was no time that he would ever say that I'm coming. He would come in unannounced. So he sat on that takat and then again loudly said, "I said, don't you listen to me? I said, bring the child to me." And eventually, my aunt brought me, almost lifeless body, to his feet. He was sitting on his takat, and there was a coal brazier burning on the floor near the takat, and I was put there on the floor. He said, "Remove the cloth." The sheet was removed from my face. Maharajji extended his foot and then touched my lips with his big toe, right big toe, and started tickling it. And to everybody's surprise, the sound of my suckling on his toe drew everybody's attention. I was suckling on his toe. Now that was something was happening. See, that was the moment of transformation. Transformation of being lifeless to coming back to life. And then when I started suckling on his toe, he bent down, holding me in his hands, pulled me to his lap, and now I was in his lap. He was stroking, gently stroking. See, I'm telling you this, see, don't ever think that I was in the scene and I had heard so many times that I feel that I can really sense it. Believe me, I can sense it. He was stroking my head gently, a newborn baby, just a couple of hours old, who was destined to die. Imagine. And he calls in at that moment. And before that, a week ago in Haldwani, he had simply ordered my father not to visit Nainital before the sixth day after my birth. That is what he had told my father. But leaving my father behind in Haldwani, he himself traveled to Nainital and then appeared there at the right time. So he was stroking my head. And you know what I did? I had not peed since my birth. And I peed in his lap. I peed in his lap. And the stream of the urine, it fell on the coal brazier that was burning by my side. And a cloud of vapors and ash came up, and the falling ash smeared on me and Maharaj both. Imagine that. And I cried. That was my first cry. When I cried, he said, हमारा बेटा है निमी. This is my son Nimi. So this is from where the name comes, Nimi, right? हमारा बेटा है निमी, डॉक्टर बन के सेवा करेगा. He will be a doctor and serve people. So from a birth or stillbirth, destined not to live long, not in even days, he changed everything. He brought me back to life. Not only that, gave me name and the purpose of my life. Some time ago, somebody asked me, how am I related to Maharajji? Well, since I had never ever given any thought to this, I did not have any answer. But of course, it was an important, very important question. I said, well, I really don't know, but I'll think. However, it is not that I think and I analyze and think that what he is to me and I reply to you. Instead, I'll share my thought with you, what I feel. It would be not what I think. No logic, not from my head. So answer ought to come from my heart. Then I said, people call him God. I have not seen God, I don't know God. So I can't say that he is God. Some people say he is Hanumanji. I have not met with Hanumanji. I don't know what resemblance he has with him. Or he is Hanumanji himself. I don't know. A disciple? No, I cannot be a disciple. I have no qualities to be his disciple. You know, some old, respectable figure in the family? No, he was not one of them. He was entirely different. Then what he is to me? And as if he told me at that moment. And what I said, I said, he is my mother. He is my mother. That's what I had said. Your mother? Yes, I said, yes, my mother. See, it was not my mother's breast that I suckled as I was born. It was his great too. He brought me back to my mother had given birth to a almost lifeless body. He had given life to it. And then gave me my name, my purpose. And I did what only a child can do with his mother, and generally does. I peed in his lap. So that was the relationship between me and him. And his grace continues to be with me all the time. That is what I feel. And then it was in 1950. It continues. I'm now 75 years. I'm about to be going to be 75 years. It's a long time. He left his body in 73. Then at that time, I was in the medical college. I was a student. And that very night, when he left his body, I had a vision of him. Whenever I see him in dreams, I don't call them dreams. They are a dimension of his presence. He appeared and said, अब हम अमरकंटक जा रहे हैं. Now I am going to Amarkantak. I remember when I woke up in the morning, I remembered that I had seen him in the night. And then I remembered he had said, I'm going to Amarkantak now. Well, it had no context, so I could not decipher it. But while I was going down to the mess before attending to my classes, there I found the newspaper announcing his departure. But he continues to be with us. I consider you people, especially who were born and are drawn to him after his leaving his body. You know, Bharat, I included, and many of us who still survive, they were drawn to him by fate, that he was there, and he was there well. We made no efforts. We got him. See, you are very special devotees. You decided your path. You are walking on it. So it is an effort from your side. To us, it was just his grace, his blessing. Certainly, I was fortunate, and this fortune came, of course, from him, nowhere else otherwise. I witnessed many things. His everything, every move, every word, whatever he said, it is an endless story. If you delve into that, the deeper you delve, it appears that this yarn has no other end. It just unending thing. I and Bharat were engaged in talks very long time. Why not Bharat? Isn't it? And we used to say, bring joy. Talking about him was like bring joy.
Yes.
That is intoxication, truly. I do not know what bhakti is. I do not know what gyan is. I do not know what the path of karma is. I feel, I even I do not know who knows him. He is so multidimensional. It would be, well, what can you say? You see a range of mountain. It is just part of it, you see. One side of it. Just like looking at the ocean. You see the surface. You don't see the ocean. It is the depth. So it applies to Maharajji as well. So eventually, as he had decided that I would be a doctor, so that's what I became eventually. There are many, 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 many stories. He used to visit our home, his home rather. I lived in his home, so it would be more appropriate to say that I lived in his home because he had said it is my home. May Maharajji illuminate your path and you all remain blissful under the warmth of his blanket. May he bless you all.
Ram Ram. I have a question, Nimida. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So, okay, so this is random. Sorry, but
Don't worry.
where do you think Baba is now since he's Chiranjeevi?
Everywhere.
Okay. But
Everywhere.
physically.
Physically, what is physical? Where are you this time?
Somewhere.
You are here.
Yeah.
You are here. Where am I? I am not in Canada. I am there with you. That's why we are able to communicate. So you can communicate with Maharajji anytime, anywhere.
Yeah,
He's
that I know, but I just wondered, some people have said that in Kumbh Mela they had sightings of him, and I was just curious.
So the answer to your curiosity can
Uh-huh.
probably be, there is a saying, जाकी रही भावना जैसी प्रभु मूर्ति देखी तैसी.
Okay.
You see your beloved, the way you look at him, simple thing.
Right.
So he is
Okay.
in your heart. So wherever you go, your heart is never, you are not never without your heart. So he's there always with you. That's what I feel.
Great answer. Thank
So
you.
there is no point in searching for him, looking at some geographical location. Where is he? Yes, there he was while he was in body. Yes. Now, while he was in body, people will be drawn towards him. And then the question would come, where is he? He is in Nainital. Where is he? He is in Vrindavan. Where is he? He is in Agra. He is in Delhi. And he would not stay at any place for a long time. Suppose you are in the town and you hear that he is in the town and he is there. By the time you reach that house, he has already left. He has gone elsewhere. That's why he was Hanuman, wind, Pavan
Mm-hmm.
Sut.
Pawansit. Makes sense.
So
Thank
he
you.
is with you.
Nimida, I have a question.
Answer is he
There's
is with you.
I have a question
Varun.
for you.
Varun had his hand up. He put his
Good.
before. Let's ask.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that question by D reminded me of two quick stories from Tara, who's also in our group now. She couldn't join today. Her
Mhm.
husband Bali, after Maharajji left his body, he was traveling in train, and a young guy came to him and gave him a newspaper, and the front line was Neem Karoli Baba has left his body. And then Bali and Tara spent another 45 years in Kachi in the guidance of Sri Siddhima. And Siddhima was showing them pictures of Maharajji, that Maharajji had given pictures to Siddhima of, like, different ages. And he came across a picture of young Maharajji, and that picture was the guy that gave him the newspaper. That is technically after leaving his body. The other story is, which Tara told me, is that Sri Siddhima got her heart broken after Maharajji passed away, and she was visiting Badrinath or one of these temples, and there she saw a saint specifically looking at her, fixated at her, and that saint was also a picture that Maharajji had given her of his youth days. So ever since, she was sure that Maharajji never left.
He can manifest because he's always there. He is not something of past, something of future or present. See, he's always there. He is eternal. It is eternity and can take any shape, any form, right? It does not surprise.
So there was one more question. I forgot. Was it Meenakshi?
Yes,
Yeah.
Meenakshi. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I have a question regarding, we know that if Baba comes to your dreams, I mean, obviously he wants to come and see you, and I mean, you can decipher it in many ways. But what does it indicate if Baba does not come in your dreams, and you are literally each and every day you are with Baba, thinking of Baba. And usually people say, if you are thinking about something, not Baba, but anywhere, if you are in your subconscious mind, you usually dream. So I'm what does it mean that if Baba does not come to your dream, in your dreams, or Ma does not come in your dreams? What does it indicate?
Nothing. Nothing. It indicates patience. Be patient. Be patient. It is not that we are not here or we are not with you. Certainly not. Certainly not. But be patient. See, it is like seeing reflection in a placid lake. A little bit of disturbance, that sends a wave of ripples, makes the moon, which is reflecting on the surface, invisible. So when your mind is agitated, your heart is in turbulence, you are waiting, and your awaiting makes you simply impatient, anxious. Why wait? Just let it happen.
Okay.
Leave it onto the
May I-
kripa. The kripas bestows,
Yeah.
Just wait, enjoy it.
Okay.
Feel that they are with you. Seeing, what is seeing? Seeing is nothing. It is matter of senses.
Yeah. Feeling is there, yeah, but
What is important is the feeling.
sometimes your mind gets corrupted, whether are
Yeah, the
they
longing is
watching me?
there. The longing is a good. It is again a sign of your love. But then understand also. If you are not, you are waiting in your dreams. You are waiting in the dreams. So what does it really mean? It's just a dimension of meeting. Thoughts, you can materialize at any time. Just think.
Yeah.
That is job. That is what job is.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. All right. Thank you so
And
much.
then may I add something to that? There's a Buddhist saying that when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Happy as simply patience. That's
Right?
why I said patient. Be patient. When you are ready, your heart is placid. There are no ripples in it. The reflection will be there.
Right.
Meenakshi ji, Meenakshi ji, since you
Yeah.
were talking about your intense desire to connect with Babaji, right? I just wanted to tell you there's an audio recording of Babaji on YouTube, and do you want to guess the name he is talking about over there? You should go and listen to that audio YouTube. He's talking about Meenakshi, the how beautiful the name Meenakshi is. You might
You
actually
know, you know, you know that video, yeah, that video. I mean, I usually do not, I mean, I have not said since you said. So once morning, I'm an early riser. So once morning, and I, because obviously that's the only way of communication, even though I do not follow and I'm not but I usually see that Baba communicates in that form. So, and one fine morning, and I just opened and said, Meenakshi. I was like, no, it's not, can't be happening. It's not I was like, oh my God. So, yes.
So of all the audio recording, I mean, of there is one audio at least I know of one audio recording, and it's wonderful that it's in he's talking about Meenakshi over there, and he
And
keeps on saying,
there's one video recording where he says Meenakshi and Ravi Khanna. And Ravi is my husband's name.
Hmm.
So there you go. Why are you waiting for the dreams?
No, I was just saying that, to that earlier point, let me assure you one thing from my experience that Maharaj is very tech savvy. Believe me, the kind of, whenever I've asked questions and I've had doubts, either he has got Nimidara to answer them for me, or I have got it through Instagram or Facebook, and it has been unbelievable. Initially I used to be that is it a coincidence or something, but now I've got completely reconciled to it that I don't have to meet him in physical form. He's omnipresent, so you'll get your answers somehow, you'll get it, and he's very, very media friendly. That's one. Second, I've just taken the liberty to post the link of Nimidada's Divine Nectar in our chat, so that anybody wants to access that, you can just click on that. Thank you.
Ramdas used to say, more people know Maharaji now since he left his body than when he was in this flesh. Yeah. So he's everywhere.
Yeah, in Miracle of Love also, like he has written very clearly that this book is not for those who have been with Maharajji. This book is for those who have not seen him, but they still are connected to him.
Right. So any other thoughts, comments? Anybody, any questions?
Once he catches your hand, he never lets go. That's all I need to know, and it's just turning out to be well. Yeah.
So just one last comment. After you mentioned, the Divine Nectar, I went and I looked at YouTube, and I had actually already seen a couple of videos of yours, Nirmalji. So thank you very much. Today, I was like traveling and all that, but somehow, I didn't miss too much. I feel very lucky and blessed. And I also want to thank Amit and Bharatji for the logistics and arranging all of this. It was done so beautifully. And thank you for all the participants as well. This is
Thank
not
you,
the end of the
Anthony.
show, but like I wanted to say that.
Any other thoughts, questions?
Ferris has his hand.
Yes, yeah, go ahead.
Thank you so much. My question is, what do you think Maharajji's message is? What is universal with his message? And when we read his conversations with other people, like what, how sometimes the message is really just for the devotee that is in front of him or seeing that he's with. Like I guess my question, I'm coming up with it as I'm speaking, is how do we sometimes know that the message is for us and for everybody? And how do we know it's specifically for that person that we met?
Well, Firas, in nutshell, you can say the Maharajji's whole philosophy, though he never had any discourse, he would not be talking on any subject, but his every word would be a word of wisdom. So for everyone, that applies to everyone. He would say, he would advise somebody, but that does not mean that it applies to anybody. It is for a specific person, right? If he has said anything to somebody, maybe it is for him. Mind it. For everybody, the simple, the very clear, and the most powerful message is love, serve, and remember. Love all, serve all, feed all. See God in everyone. In everyone means, because if you can love, unconditional love can only occur when your lover is everywhere. That is unconditional. You see God in everything. That is how your action, that is karma, can become karma yoga. Because in return, you don't aspire anything. No results. You don't reap the fruits of your karma. That is, nishkam karma, without desires. So that is Maharajji's message. Simple. If something was said to somebody, maybe it was in a certain situation for someone, not a very general message. But the general message is this, that can be applied everywhere, anytime, by anyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I joined late. I want to introduce myself. Nimida, my name is Kuljit, originally from Punjab, but I live in Seattle here in Washington. So some of the stories with Maharajji really, so sometime I read, sometime Maharajji would direct people, okay, go to Ganga, have Ishnan,
Yeah.
And on the other side, some people are on the way to Ishnan. He's like,
No.
Ganga is here, so, and also same thing with the food too, sometimes he's like, go do the puja, and then distribute the food. And sometimes he's like, people are hungry, why are you doing swaha, so, so, it's so, and this is what I think Maharajji didn't believe in all the karma kand and everything. You know what I mean? He was simple, just love each other, care about each other.
There was no
such a
question
beautiful.
about Maharajji believing in anything. Believe you do not know.
Okay.
Believe in a thing which you do not know.
Yes.
This is my hand. Is it my belief or it is my knowing? Likewise, Maharajji did not believe in anything. He knew everything.
Yes.
He knew everything.
Okay.
So once he knew everything,
Hmm.
His every word can be paradoxical,
Yes.
contradictory,
Country.
but it would apply to that moment, to that person, to that situation.
Yes, yes. Because it's been your mind. I mean, you think
That's
one
it.
way, yeah, then it's like
He used to say, I have the key to every mind, and I can turn it at any
I
time.
can play around with you.
Yeah.
That is true. It's really nice to see you, and it's
It was
really good.
wonderful time.
Yeah.
Really, it is all Maharajji's blessing. See, this is the miracle, how we meet. And all
Yes.
unconditionally we are drawn to each other.
Yes.
This is what Maharajji's love is. It
Yeah.
engulfs you, it engulfs. There is nothing to.
Yes. Maharajji just grabs you from the neck, and yes, you can. Yeah. Yes.
So what we witnessed all this time was a miracle happening.
Yeah.
And Bharat, joy brewing, right?
That's
A
right.
big pot of joy brewing up.
Yes. Yes, I'm feeling it now. Yes.
And this is something. This is what I believe for everybody. It doesn't matter, at what stage of life we. I think this thing, it'll go with like till last breath. Maharaj is with everybody, and yeah. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate that. If
Thank
anybody
you.
else has
Maharajji is much more infectious than Corona.
that is true. Yes. Yes, yes. That is so true. Thank you so much again. Thank you.
All right. Well, take care, everybody. Have a very good night, and we will meet soon one more time.
Thank
And
you.
we'll
Thank you for
carry
arranging.
this.
Ram
John,
Ram.
are you? Ram Ram.
Ram
Go
Ram
Ram.
ahead.
Ram Vasu,
Yes.
Ram
Thank
Ram,
you.
and
Thank you,
Pranam
Nivida.
Yeah.
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you.
Pranam
Ram Ram.
everybody. With all
Ram.
prayers that we meet again soon.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Take care.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
very much.
Ram Ram.
Ram
Ram.
Ram.
Ram
Ram Ram Bharat.
Ram.
Ram Ram.
Ram. Ah, it's always good to be with you. And
Ram Ram everybody.
Ram Dada Pranam.
Ashirvad Mukta. Ashirvad.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.